When you're so all-time special that the players on the opposing team start celebrating your play while playing against them during an actual game? I'm dead serious. What Steph has done in 13 years in the NBA officially has no one in denial of his greatness. The things NBA players and legends have said about this man, wait until you hear this. Just a couple of kids from Akron turned rivals, turned faces of the NBA. Do you guys remember when a young LeBron sat front row to watch Steph Curry play a college basketball game? Do you remember just how supportive LeBron was of Steph and how he cheered on his every special move and shot? Well, it hasn't always been that way. Little did LeBron know, this scrawny looking kid would eventually come for his throne and challenge him in multiple big stage finals games. Heck, if anyone told me in 2008 that Steph would become one of LeBron's biggest rivals, I would have laughed, literally out loud. LeBron and Steph's rivalry took off in 2015, but before that, LeBron was winning championships in Miami while Steph was still emerging into a future league MVP. But when LeBron embarked on his coming home mission and when Steph's breakout season led the Warriors to a league best 67 wins, everything, and I mean everything, changed. Basketball was about to be revolutionized thanks to a LeBron-Steph rivalry. Steph won the MVP in 2015, and LeBron said in the finals,
I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world.
Rivalry? Yep, born. And when Steph backed his MVP with a Larry O'Brien trophy, rivalry equals intensified. Suddenly, the babyface looking 6'3" tall point guard from Davidson that LeBron was cheering on from the bench just a few short years ago became LeBron's arch nemesis. And how about that for a change in scenery? But let's not forget that LeBron one-upped them next year. He led the Cavs to victory after trailing 3-1 in the NBA Finals and proceeded to troll Steph at the championship parade when he wore a t-shirt that said Ultimate Warrior on it. And then on Halloween when LeBron threw a party and he ate tombstone-shaped cookies that had Steph's and Klay's name on it. But despite the friendly rivalry that went on for another 2 NBA Finals, LeBron has openly praised and even backed Steph. He's called him the greatest shooter of all time numerous times. He even backed him in a tweet calling the former president a bum and defending Steph's decision for not wanting to go to the White House to celebrate an NBA title. And most famously,
in today's game, Steph Curry. Steph Curry's the one that I want to play with. When he get out his car, you better guard him right from the moment he pulls up to the arena.
That's a mouthful from LeBron saying that about one of the biggest rivals and a player he's lost 3 finals to. But if there's any player in the entire NBA that's earned LeBron's respect and admiration, it's Steph Curry. Even after 4 straight NBA finals, even after winning back-to-back MVPs in LeBron's prime, and even after building and leading a dynasty to 4 NBA titles in 7 years, LeBron can only gush praise for Steph. Now that's greatness. Number 1 and number 1A in terms of popularity at the point guard position, Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry. Fortunately for us fans, we've had the opportunity to see both of these playmaking dynamos go head-to-head for years, including a pair of NBA Finals and one of the best guard duels in the history of professional basketball. Kyrie has gone head-to-head with the best of the best at his position, and he's only appreciated what's come along the way. The 2016 NBA Finals gave us a riveting series that saw the league MVP square off one-on-one against arguably the second best point guard in basketball in Kyrie. Kyrie hit the shot that ultimately won Game 7 and completed the greatest finals comeback in NBA history. And a year later, Steph stole the PG battle when he strung together one of his most productive finals series ever and helped lead the Warriors to redemption. And even though that was the peak of Kyrie and Steph battling at the highest stage in the NBA, these guys respect each other and marvel at each other's game. Kyrie once said,
I love Steph, man. I mean, completely revolutionized the game. Coming into the league as a young man in 2011 and only seeing glimpses of what he was capable of. When he caught fire, man, everybody was on notice. And me as a point guard, he was the guy that really set that standard.
You could tell Kyrie meant that too. Just look at the clip of Kyrie and Steph meeting at the end of the game this past January and check Kyrie's face when he sees Steph. Now that's wholesome and shows you Kyrie's appreciation for Steph and approval of his game and what he's meant to not only players younger than him, but to the NBA in its entirety. Jrue Holiday is so confused, baffled, downright lost. How in the world do you stop Steph Curry?
I literally try to do everything. I try to all the tricks. He's an alien. I don't understand. I don't understand. I fouled him on a half-court shot. I'm pretty sure he didn't even look at the rim, and he still almost made it. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, what do you take?
I don't know about you, but I've never in all my years watching basketball tried so hard to praise another guy at his own position. And literally, it's impossible for Holiday to put into words just the kind of nuclear offensive weapon Steph is. Especially coming from the guy who is widely regarded as the best perimeter defender in all of basketball in Jrue Holiday. Now Holiday starts talking like he's a fan of Steph that idolizes him. That's how openly controlled Holiday was when trying to describe the level of impact number 30 from the Bay has. Even I'm at a loss of words reacting to Holiday's breakdown of Steph. Seriously, Shaq is a fan of Steph. Actually, he may be the biggest Steph fan in the world. Shaq is a 4-time champion and won an MVP, and yeah, is even labeled as the most dominant offensive force the game of basketball has ever seen. And yet, Shaq talks about Steph like he was never even close to the level of a player he was. Steph just won his 4th NBA title in June, but Shaq said even before he won his 4th ring that Steph Curry is already one of the 10 greatest players of all time.
When it comes to the most dominant, Wilt, myself, Kobe, LeBron, and Mike. When it comes to the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry is in there by itself. So does that make him top 10? In my opinion, it does.
Not only is he the top 10 in Shaq's book of legends, he's also the best player in basketball right now, according to Shaq.
Nobody's going to beat the best player in the world, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry's the best player in the world?
Yeah, by far. Nobody plays better than Steph Curry.
Until someone can dethrone Steph, he's the reigning finals MVP and averaged better than 31 points per game these past finals. That's more points than his 2nd and 3rd best players combined. So yeah, I get where you're coming from, Shaq. Steph Curry is 34 years old, going on 35 years old. He's still a problem even for the player who just won Defensive Player of the Year and tried everything he could to stop a guy who's 6 years older than he is. Marcus Smart has seen a lot of Steph in his career. In fact, Smart's rookie year was the same year Steph won his MVP award and then capped the season crowned with his first NBA title. So the now 8-year vet Marcus Smart hasn't seen a league without Steph breaking records, building a dynasty, becoming the first ever unanimous MVP, and even becoming the all-time 3-point champion when he passed Ray Allen last season. Oh, I almost forgot. In his 8 years, he watched Steph play 6 finals and win 4 titles, and the very latest title coming against Smart himself. Got any words, Marcus?
You know, the dude is special in that regard. You know, the way that he's able to affect the game by play off the ball and get himself open. And it's just tough on a defender because you can't take a break. You think that he's not doing anything, and that's when you get beaten. That's when you get burnt. And he got the whole package. Not many players can do that.
And that Steph is probably the most annoying player that any player has had to guard ever, because Steph does something that 99% of other players don't do. He runs and runs and runs around some more, until he's gotten completely open and the defender is already lost somewhere in the 250 circles he just did around the court trying to stick with Steph. And that's what makes all of this even more mind-blowing, is that Steph is somehow, some way, able to run around the entire game and is still able to knock down as many threes as he does. Do you realize the level of conditioning it takes to run around all game and still have the legs and the stamina to continue launching shots 35 feet from the basket? How does this man do it? Like, how? If you aren't at least as in awe as some of these players are about Steph, I have to say something. You're missing out on greatness. I don't know how he continues to get away with this. He has the greatest weapon in the 3-point shot in history, and he's never tired. I know Shaq wishes he wouldn't ever get tired like his favorite player Steph, and I know for a fact LeBron, Kyrie, Jrue Holiday, and every other star player wishes they had Steph's right arm. Hell, all of us want that. But only one man has it, and it's that man from Akron. He's it.